Do not judge, so that you will not be judged. For in the way you judge, you will be judged. And by your standard of measure, it will be measured to you. Why do you look at the speck that is in your brother's eye, and yet pay no attention to the log that is in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, let me remove the speck from your eye, when behold, the log is in your eye? You hypocrite! First remove the log out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. Do not give to dogs what is holy, and do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they will trample them under your feet and turn and tear you to pieces. Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds, and to him who knocks it will be opened. Which of you, if your son asks for a loaf of bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, he will not give him a snake, will he? If you then, being evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give good things to those who ask him? In everything, therefore, treat others the same way you want them to treat you, for this is the law and the prophets. Enter through the narrow gate, for the gate is wide and the way is broad that leads to destruction, and there are many who enter through it. But the gate is small and the way is narrow that leads to life, and only a few find it. Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. You will know them by their fruits. Grapes are not gathered from thorn bushes, nor figs from thistles, are they? So every good tree bears good fruit, but the bad tree bears bad fruit. A good tree cannot produce bad fruit, nor can a bad tree produce good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. So you will know them by their fruits. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but he who does the will of my Father who is in heaven will enter. Many will say to me on that day, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name, and in your name cast out demons, and in your name perform many miracles? And I will say to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you who practice lawlessness. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and acts on them may be compared to a wise man who built his house upon the rock. And the rains fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and slammed against that house, and yet it did not fall, because it had been founded upon the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not act on them may be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the rains fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and slammed against that house, and it fell, and great was its fall. When Jesus finished saying all of these things, the crowds were amazed at his teaching, because he taught them as one having authority, and not as their scribes.